Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this edition of Facts and Realities of Education. Facts and Realities of Education is a program that we probe into our academic system. We look at how the system progresses, and we appreciate those elements that we need to appreciate them. In this edition of the program, we would continue with official exams. In the last edition, we promised you that we are going to look at these official exams. Remember that we are almost at the end of the academic year that is always marked by official exams. With me here in the studio, we have teachers of English, of Hope and Life English Nursery and Primary School, who are visiting us today with members of their journalism club. They will be part of us on set. We have Mr. Tikum Silvanus, who is here to talk with us about official exams. Good evening, Mr. Tikum, and welcome.
Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Beside Mr. Tikum Silvanus, we have Mr. Mbaku Pascal, who is also here to talk about official exams. Good evening, Mr. Mbaku, and welcome.
Good evening, sir.
Thank you. We dive into our program immediately, and we'll look at which are these official exams that always come at the end of the academic year like we have now. We are talking in the context of primary school.
Basically, in the primary school, there are two official examinations that are being conducted at the end of their 6 years course. And those exams are the first school leaving certificate and the government common entrance examination.
Okay. These are within the English subsystem of education.
Yes, they are within the English subsystem of education in Cameroon.
And then in the French subsystem of education, what do we have, Mr. Mbaku?
In the French subsystem of education, we have the what we call. Entrée de sixième.
Oui.
I'm sorry because I'm English speaking.
Yes. Okay, we have something to like the common entrance.
The common entrance, which is in French.
Yes.
And then something like the first school also, which is
in the French version.
Yeah.
Okay, now let's look at who are those who are involved in this preparation of examination. We'll begin with you, Mr. Mbaku.
Yeah.
Those who are involved in preparing students or pupils, candidates for these exams.
Yeah, with those who are involved with this preparation of these exams, we start with the parents, teachers, and the pupils themselves.
Okay.
These are the three people that are concerned.
Three groups of
three
people.
Groups of people. And then in these three groups of people, the teacher and the parent have 50%.
Okay.
The pupil have 50%.
Okay.
Meaning that the pupil is the one having the bulk of the work. The teacher and the parent have 25 to make up the one for the success of the child.
Okay. We come back to Mr. Tiku. What is actually the role of the parent? What do we expect the parent to do during this period?
Well, the fundamental role of the parent to play in the preparation of the pupils for the success of exams is much. Most parents are to provide food for the pupils to eat and be capable to learn in good learning atmosphere. And the parents are there to provide shelter. They are there to pay their school fees and make them sit in classrooms and study. Because if they don't pay the school fees, they might be sent away, and that would disturb the learning process of the pupils. Yeah.
Okay. Then parents, you have the duty to provide the conducive learning conditions.
Yes, sir.
For your kids.
For the kids, yeah.
Back at home.
Yeah.
Now, then, what is the role of the candidate, the pupils themselves?
Yeah, the role of a pupil or the pupils themselves is to take the lessons, assimilate it into them, and then reproduce what the teachers are giving them.
Okay.
That is, they have the lessons, they go and write, that's they reproducing it. Yeah, that is their own role. Because in class, they need to be focused, listen to the lessons. As they take the lessons, they go home, they go over it, they do their homework, do the assignment, everything. As they do all those things, they are preparing for the exams, and then at the end you will see that they will succeed. Okay.
What about group work? Are they involved in group work at this time?
Yeah, the group work is the most important part.
Yes.
I was still coming to that.
Okay.
Because at this moment, especially I will speak like this, the class has been shared into groups. You give a work, give a questioning on board, groups come out. Okay, you take the answers. You as a teacher, you already know that this answer is correct. This one, you see how people are coming up, they are debating, they themselves, they'll even put the correction. You're just there to moderate.
Where do these group works normally take place? Is it at home or in school?
Normally, our group works often take place in school. We train the children in class how to work in group. They go to the board, do the demonstration. Now, when we find out that they are competent to exercise in their group work, we equally extend it at home for them to work there. But sometimes at home, we share them according to the quarter in which they live. Pupils in a common quarter will join at a particular house or a home. They study for about 1 or 2 hours and then they disperse. Then when they come back in school the next day, we verify what they have studied, mark it, and give them a collective mark for them as a group.
Okay, when they are working like that, is there anybody to coordinate the way? Or because I understand we are talking about the primary school context here. If we leave these kids to themselves, would they not use it as an opportunity to disturb rather than study? Is there anybody to coordinate them?
Good. If it is back home, you, the teacher, you need to know that this group is going to this particular house, so that you make the parent to know that I'm going to follow up these children here. Because if you allow them, they will be playing. In class, you, the teacher, you are there to coordinate them. Yes, if you do like that, then it will move.
Do you communicate between the school and the parents? Do you have an communication?
We move.
Okay, where you get feedbacks from the parents, and you act on them. And then you. All right. Now let's look at.
In addition to that, we equally empower the pupils with leadership. We get some leaders in their group, which will coordinate them.
Okay, group leaders.
Yeah, group leaders.
Okay.
Yes. Then the teachers might pass time to time. Suppose there were some pupils that were causing disturbance in the group, their names will be sorted out and brought to school the next day. They will know how to rectify the situation.
Okay. All right. Now, remember, we are still talking about official exams, in which conditions we write. So before we get into the conditions of writing these exams, let us look at what you are, how do you prepare now at the level of the school? Is there anything now like classes? Do we still have classes going on now?
Yeah, with the class
last minute.
With the class 6 people, they still have classes. They even have classes right to the last day. If they do write tomorrow, they will have classes today for the final touches. We call it dotting the I's and cutting the T's.
Okay.
Yeah. So they are still having classes.
And topics that you did not finish, is it the time you struggle to brush them or now?
For now, we don't. We've already covered all the scheme.
Okay.
We're doing revision.
Okay.
We're doing what we've been doing since on class 5, because normally the program of the first school and common trans start from
classes 5 and 6.
Yes, that's level 3. So we revise all those things.
Okay. Yes. Please.
Actually, when the academic year commences in September, we try to work faster with the scheme of work, such that we have enough time to do revision about 2 or 3 times or even 4 times for the children to be versed with the information in order to reproduce well at the examination centers.
Okay, and this is the time too that you touch examination type questions. You answer them, drill them in the various instructions. All right. Now let's look at these official exams, the conditions in which we write. When we talk of conditions, we say, where do we write? Where do we write these exams? Do you write it in your school, or what do you do?
No, we write in centers. Okay. We write in centers. Like in our school, we write. Our center is at the Centenary. That is a Catholic school just beside our school. Still there at Newtown and Report. We take our children there. There are many schools. There are about 13 schools that come there with their children. About 700 something pupils in that center. And then children from your school don't sit in their own hall. Okay. Names appear there alphabetically. Yes, a child from
names of candidates who are in that hall, in that center.
Yeah.
All the 13 schools.
All the 13 schools.
Okay.
Take for example, if I have only one child in my school that the name appears start with A, that child is supposed to be in hall 1. Okay. It moves like that right up to the last hall. Okay. Yeah. So people from my own or our own school can be 2 or 3 in one hall. Then it moves like that. Yeah.
Okay. We are looking at the conditions. What about the accommodation? These centers, let me say, do they have the infrastructure to accommodate these schools? We are talking about 13 schools in one center.
Yeah, the infrastructures are available. First of all, there are criteria that are taken into consideration before a place, a particular school is chosen as a center.
Yeah.
Okay.
These schools, which are centers, have ample classrooms, enough benches that the can accommodate the candidate. So the writing condition is conducive when it comes to classroom writing. But then there are equally conditions which are not very favorable when it comes to art and craft, sporting, considering the fact that we do this examination in the raining period. So some of the playing ground which the football throws and gymnastics are to be taken, they are sometimes nasty and muddy. So it poses a lot of difficulties for the pupils to really perform effectively, yes, as to what is expected.
Because when you touch a point there about arts and craft and sporting, can you talk more about it? Because
with arts and craft and sport, you know, in the primary school, we need to make a child to be flexible. In the primary school with arts and craft, you make a child to use her own knowledge or his or her own knowledge to come out with something locally with materials. You can ask a child to bring a carton, come out with a surplus. That is already arts and craft. You can ask a child, okay, take these beads, make me something. Then the child will take, or even maybe polishing the shoe, maybe plaiting. That is already arts and craft.
But we had that when we used to do what we used to call handwork. Now we were talking of it in the context of examination. Do we have them now in the context of examination?
Now in the context of examination, the government have changed it.
Okay.
Yeah, the government have changed it to bring it now to be a subject, because it is a subject that they teach in class.
Okay, and it's evaluated.
It is evaluated
in official exams.
Yes. I remember in first school it is over 20.
Okay.
Yeah, it's over 20. As we speak, they were just from there.
Okay.
Yes, from doing it. So, and then we'll go to sport. You know, we cannot say that you must only be a doctor, you must be a journalist, you must be a teacher. There are some of them that can be sporters tomorrow, professionals in the moment of sport. So from here they start developing their I would say that building their career, because there are some experience in the children that you don't know. When they start performing those things, you discover them. Yeah.
Mr. Mbaku, Mr. Atiku, yes.
Yes. Considering art and craft and sport, we, the teachers, and even the government has discovered that the pupils, as young as they are, they have some hidden talents in them. And so to both add those talents, it is to introduce those art and craft, sport, and all the like. Then we equally notice that in the society, everybody is not at the same level. After the primary school course, some pupils stay behind. They cannot go to secondary school. They have nothing to make a living. So we boost that their talent by putting them into practice, such that if you are a pupil, after leaving the primary school course, you cannot make the secondary school and other professions, you can manage to maybe cook, open a restaurant, you can play football, entertain people, and that can fetch you some money and keep you making a better living.
Okay. Now let's go back to the written phase, and we talk about the sitting position. How are the sitting position? Because I get 13 schools converging on one school. Would they be the sitting position? Is it really acceptable?
Yes, it is very, very comfortable. It is very, very acceptable, because each hall is accommodating 50 pupils.
Okay.
And there are 2 pupils per bench.
Per bench, okay.
Yeah. So if I'm talking of these 13 schools, about 700 and something, we have about 13 to 14 halls.
Okay.
That each hall is taking about 50. It's 15. I should not say that about. It's 50. So 50 pupils, a hall, 2 persons per bench. Or 2 pupils per bench.
Okay. We are talking about official exams, ladies and gentlemen. Now we were talking about the English subsystem of education, and let's look at what happened in the French subsystem of education, where Vanessa covered one of such official exams that had just passed. When we come back, we will welcome members of the journalism club of Hope and Live English Nursery and Primary School, who will be with us here on the set. Let us have that element.
The written session of the baccalaureate and probatoire technique exams in the French-speaking educational system in Cameroon kicked off today in centers around the country and Douala in particular. Candidates of probatoire went in for the exams in the sub-center in Lycée de Comasi. The principal tells us that exams kicked off at exactly 8 a.m. and all candidates were present. She further noted that security measures have been put in place to ensure that fraudsters are put to book. In the meantime, Lycée Technique de Bona-Doumbé serves as accommodation center for baccalaureate technique. Here, 591 candidates registered, all answered present, but for 19 absences that were recorded. The candidates had already written the first paper French and were anxious to know what the second paper looks like. Madame Eyikenengo Mungi, the principal of the school, says that so far no attempt of fraud has been recorded, though some candidates came confused with the allocation of their sitting positions. Nevertheless, the start of these exams in these sub-centers are hitch-free and will last for a week.
That is the French subsystem of education, and with me here in the studio, like I said, we have members of the journalism club of Hope and Live English Nursery and Primary School. That's why we have them on set here. These are future journalists who are trying to develop that love in this profession. We would have them here and we would hear from some of them how they prepare their examination. Good evening and welcome.
Good evening.
Yes. What is your name?
My name is Alida.
Please speak out. You are speaking to... Yes. What is your name?
My name is Alida.
Alida, please. You are in which class?
I'm in class 5.
Class 5. How do you prepare for examinations?
We prepare for our exam by listening attentively to the teacher in class, revising at home, and ask questions when you don't understand.
I like that. And ask questions when you don't understand.
Yeah.
That's good, Alida. Now, we will let's take this other future journalist again.
Alice.
You are here in the TV house, right?
Yes, sir.
You want to become a journalist, right?
Yes, sir.
What is your name?
My name is Sages.
Sages. Yes. What do you like about being a journalist?
I like journalists because journalists observe, write news, ask questions. I did.
Okay. This is wonderful because these are questions that we will not expect answers from such. We wish that you develop that interest in journalism because they observe, they write news, and then they
do. I did.
And they do
I did.
I did. That is in-depth development of news element.
Yeah.
Thank you. Now we have a teacher who is here with us, and we would like to hear from him. What do you do with this class, with this club? What do you do with them precisely? I think you will talk in such a way that we can get you on this mic.
Well, precisely with this club, this is a very intellectual club.
Yes.
Of which they are so dynamic, hardworking, and intelligent. As a journalism club, they have been sent to various assignments, so as to do research on so many things happening either in their homes, in school, and whatnot about the environment. Of which, after it is being done, they present the fact to us. We correct it, we edit it, and we do various adjustments and get back to them. That
is the beginning of journalism. We wish you well in your formation because you are already forming them.
Thank you.
Okay, you will remain with us here on the set while we try to round up the program. But before we round up the program, Mr. Tikum, we will talk about the invigilators. We're talking about 13 schools coming together in one center. Do you have enough invigilators to take care of this? If you look at the French section in the element we had, the sitting position, they were each candidate on a bench. And do you have enough invigilators?
Yes, sir. We have enough invigilators to take care of the written part of the exams. You know, with the Anglophone subsystem of education, we hate what is cheating and other malpractices of exams. So in each hall, we often have two invigilators.
Two invigilators.
Yes. That they check how the children are writing, any difficulties or any problem, they attend to them, and then they equally stop malpractices and cheating, such that only what the children have taken for the 6 years course, they should be able to reproduce it.
Okay.
And by so doing, a child that never assimilated the necessary knowledge will definitely fail. and is given another chance to prepare for the next year.
Okay.
But those that they have assimilated very well, they prove it there by writing it and succeeding.
Okay. Before we come to the motivation of these invigilators, let me come back to Mr. Tikum. Now, there is a phenomenon that people hardly fail this end of these official exams, talking mostly of first school living and common entrance. To the best of my knowledge, results of common entrance are out.
Yeah.
What is the general performance? Not in your school, generally. What did you read?
The general performance for government common entrance this year has improved.
Okay.
Yes. Every year our objective is that we should grow. Yes, we should improve. Cameroonians learning in Cameroon has improved in such a way that even pupils in the primary school that get to internet to gather information, they are being taught in the classroom how to use that information, so the children are knowledgeable enough. Most of them, they perform well. That is why it is difficult for you to get that some children really fail, though some fail.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, some really fail.
Some really fail.
Because that is confirming a point that
a majority of schools always have 100%, but not all the schools have 100%.
It is a fear, because at times we look at it as if it is a strategy, a kind of publicity tactic to publish every year that we scored 100%. But let's talk about the motivation of these invigilators, Mr. Mbaku. Yes, how are they motivated?
Yeah, they be motivated. They're motivated in the sense that when they come to the examination center, they will invigilate. He has just talked of 13 schools and 2 invigilators per hall.
Yes.
By the end of the exams, the chief of center is there. He will call the teachers or the invigilators, let me put it that way. He will give them their transport and all the like.
Okay.
While the school also that send them there also give them something.
Okay, the school that sends them there. I was going to ask something.
Yeah.
Who is an invigilator? Is it that as you are a class 6 teacher, you are automatically an invigilator, or the school can decide to send any other teacher?
The school sends any teacher, and at times it's not even good to send a class 6 teacher there.
Okay, why?
Because they may be tempted to deal with their pupils.
Okay.
So it was
at that point now they are no longer their people, they are already candidates.
Yes, that's what I'm saying, because they can have a team.
Okay.
They can have a team within themselves. That go this way, play this game, let me play this one.
Okay.
But if you send other teachers, they will not know who is who.
Okay.
And then you see that the true result will be out.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's look about if we are talking about official exams, let's project a bit into marking.
Yeah.
Moderation of results and publication of these results. What about marking? How is marking done?
Well, before the marking commences, teachers in various schools write their names, send it to the center at the inspectorate. They have their criteria which they take at the inspectorate to select those who are to mark. Then from there, invitations are dished out to various teachers that you are to invigilate and mark the exams. Now, when you receive your invitation as a teacher, you present yourself to the center, you present your invitation paper, then you are allowed to enter into the hall to mark, to invigilate, and after that, not all those who invigilate at times mark. Yes.
No, what I'm talking about here is I'm talking about marking.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you go for marking, you go in and mark, right?
Yes.
How is the marking done? What I mean by how is it done in your various schools?
Yeah, if I may come in there.
Yes, please.
It is not done in our various schools. Like here, I will take this region. We mark there at Bonanjo, that is at the regional delegation of basic education.
Yes.
We call it Petit George. That is the school where all the schools in this littoral, all the schools are being marked there. And if you're really talking of the marking proper, you see, if I'm the one marking, I will not even know whether this paper is on my school.
Yes, no,
because everything has been cut off. Only those people who were in charge know that this is it, and everything is in the machine first of all. So when you're marking, normally there's a team that moves around to guide you people that do like this, do like that. Yes, as you mark a paper, you don't just send it. You give it to another person to go over it.
Okay, to
maybe
check.
three teachers again to check before that mark is being recorded.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Tikum, we come back to the issue of moderation. Moderation here is the pass mark 50 or 10 or 10 over 20?
We consider the pass mark to be on 100.
Yes, I don't know whether I'm probing into something. Maybe you may not be part of the moderation team. But we're trying to
yes,
see
we have
something
a
whether
COVID.
the pass mark, is it 10 over 20 or 50? Is it 50% or how is it done? How is it moderated?
It is moderated on 50%.
Mhm.
Yes.
So a child who has 49% has failed.
A child who has 49% is put on the trial list.
Okay.
Yes, we have a trial list for those who are not up to the expected standard, and those who reach the expected standard, they are considered passed and well performed. And then those who are below the percentage, they are considered failed. But in case of taking the percentages of 100, those who are below 80 to 90 to 85, we consider them to be in list B when it comes to the
those who are between
part of the common entrance exams.
Yes.
Then those who score from 95 to 100, they are given list A.
That's very high standard. And then when results are published now like this, you see that the majority of candidates who pass, there is a person in list A.
Yeah.
So can we say it is a plus in our educational system that the level of studies has increased so high that
it is
Okay.
a plus. It is a plus because if you really look at when they are maybe grading the marks, you really know that it is not easy with the children.
Okay.
Because the children are really working well.
Okay.
We were talking of 50, 100.
Yes.
If you look at list A, just know that there are people from 80 to 100 because there are children who score all.
who score 100%?
Who score 100 over 100. You look for a place to even take a mark.
You
will
don't
not
see
get
it.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and then when you see people coming with list B, that is from 50 to that 70 to 79.
Yes.
Yeah. So he spoke of something of a maybe trial basis. You know, there is this a phenomenon that we say that exams are not the true knowledge
the true
of a
test
child.
The true test of knowledge.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that list B now is coming in so that this child failed, not because the child is dull or not that the child does not know. It's just because maybe the exam conditions. Yeah.
Okay. Now let us go into the idea of publication of the results.
Yeah.
For now, which of the official exams we have written at the level of English subsystem of education, primary school?
The government common entrance
has been written,
and published.
Okay. Now, when is the first school living going to take place?
We'll be taking the first school living certificate on the 12th and 13th of June. Yes, that is when we are going to commence writing it. Right now, as we are talking, the practical for the government first school, yes, they are writing. Yes, they are writing it today. And by
practicals?
The practicals.
In which of the subjects?
They are writing practicals. They will be doing practicals on home economics, art and crafts. Some pupils will be there to demonstrate how they can cook, and they will be tested to see whether the food is up to what they are preparing. And then some will be there to show how they can produce things like shoes, they can produce caps, beads, and all the like, all types of things in life. They will be able to. They will be demonstrating it there today. Then the invigilators will be there to grade them and give their marks as desired.
Okay. When we look at this kind of high performance, Mr. Mbaku, how do you look at the future? We are almost rounding up because our time is almost up. When you produce such high level pupils, and then they get to secondary school, and then the level instead drop. Is that a concern?
It is a point of concern because the parents at that level, they believe that the children are already big and they don't give them the follow up.
So they neglect their responsibility.
Yeah. Yes. That is where the children then fall now.
Okay.
Yeah. That is really a point of concern.
Yes, Mr. Tikumu, if you were to talk to those parents,
I will advise the parents that they should keep follow up with their kids, with their pupils, because the children are learning. They are being exposed into the world and meet many things, and they diverse their minds. They no longer focus. So if the parents keep behind their children or their pupils, they are going to be up to the standard of which they have taken from the primary school.
Okay, we have a teacher here with us who should certainly talk to some other pupils who are looking at us. If you have to tell them, what do you tell them, those of you who graduate from class 6 who are going into secondary section, so that we maintain the high level we are talking of here? What would you tell them?
As my colleague earlier mentioned, that is the continuous follow-up. So as to take the basic education to the secondary, not only secondary, even to the higher level.
Thank you, sir. And to our guest, members of the Journalism Club of Hope and Live English Nursery and Primary School. We are so grateful having you with us today, and we hope that the flame you have ignited by visiting this television house, that you will take it, so that tomorrow you sit on this very chair and present a program like I'm doing tomorrow. So that who's this again? Who's that? Yes. So that tomorrow you also write news. The news that you present in your school, you present in the radio, you present here on the television. Is that? So we are so grateful for having you. Thank you for coming. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with that we come to the end of this edition of the program. Next week we would continue again looking at examinations, and this time we would have been in the context of writing the official exams like the GCE, the first school living, as we have heard. Programs continue here on DBS television. Until next week, good night.